So, I mean, these parties have been going on for 10 years. How long did it take you when you started collecting to throw the open party?
The party originated from the MPL,
Michigan Pinball League.
Michigan Pinball League thing that Kaz had created a few years earlier. Actually, yeah, it kind of stemmed out of that, because what was happening was that there was people, certain people from Michigan that were going around to other people's houses and playing games and from house to house, and so it kind of came from that. And then after about a year or two, it kind of disbanded and kind of fell apart.
Okay.
And so instead of just, being that was going to be the end of it, I decided to keep it going here, and continue on with the party here, and just make it an annual thing once a year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, when you started out 10 years ago, I mean, how many machines did you have in your basement?
I think back then there was somewhere around, I used to think I was going to max out at like 55 or 56 games.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why. I guess I just didn't think I was going to push them that close together.
Yeah.
Where they were like, 6 inches apart, and you start squeezing them all together, and by the time you get to the other end, you gained like enough room for another 3 more games in that row. So, hey. But yeah, I think it was right around that number, about 55 or 56.
Now, how long did you have to collect before you got to that like high double-digit number? How long did it take you to get to about 55 pins? I mean, did it start slowly and just kind of accelerate, or?
It didn't take long once we got here to this house 13 years ago. When
Okay.
we moved to this house, we only had 27 games.
Gotcha.
So and once we moved here, all of a sudden we had a lot more room.
Yeah.
So you start buying more and more games, and because you're like, oh yeah, I'll buy it. I got room for that. another one, sure. So it didn't take long to get up to that number. I would say probably within a couple years.
Did you start with video games and then go to pins, or did you just always kind of stick with pinball machines?
It was always pins. I had a pool table and a dartboard.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, it'd be cool to have a pinball machine. So just got looking around, and you'd see a game on location here and there. I remember playing Indiana Jones and Theater Magic at a couple different places, and so didn't have a whole lot of exposure to it since I had been a kid. We used to play at the campgrounds and stuff, growing up in different places, but hadn't played pins in years. And then so kind of started looking around for something that just anything for sale. And there wasn't a whole lot out there, and I wasn't on the internet, and I wasn't on a news group or anything like that, and knew anybody else that owned any games or anything like that. So I just found one in the paper at a garage sale, and
Harlem Globetrotters.
Harlem Globetrotters, yeah, going to be a collector's item. Yeah.
Is that what it promised?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. She, this really nice lady here in town had it for sale, and she wanted $200 for it. And I said, well, I'll give you $150 for it. I was talking to her on the phone, and I hadn't even seen the game, and I didn't even know it was a Globetrotters. I didn't even think of the theme, or didn't care.
Yeah.
And she says, oh no, she says that's going to be a collector's item. I'm thinking, oh, who collects pinball machines? Come on. This lady's
who collects pinball machines?
Come on.
10 years in the future, you would say, shut up and take the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I bought it over the phone, and I said, yeah, okay, we'll give you the $200 for it. And she, and I was hanging up with my buddy on the phone, and he says, oh, yeah, yeah, by the way, it's Harlem Globetrotters. And I said, oh, okay, great. Whatever. So we went and picked it up later that day, and that was the first one. That was in August of '96.
Wow.
So we collected that, or bought that one. And then the next one didn't come until, I think around February or something. Yeah, no, January.
Yeah.
I think January, somewhere's in there, the following year. So, and I just happened to buy that one from somebody at work, and, because I fixed my Harlem Globetrotter, so now I can fix anything.
Oh man, but I think that's where you have to be. If you're going to be collector, you're going to have to be someone who can fix.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I go broke with a serviceman. Absolutely. You know, so yeah, I bought a flash. That was the second game, and never got it working. I realized quick I didn't know much at all.
Yeah. Where'd you get your best like supply of help from though? I mean, like what has been your best resources or resource?
Well, it's kind of gone different ways at different times, you know. I mean, back then, early on, I mean, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have the internet. I didn't have a computer.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really think anybody did anything like that. You know.
Right.
I just happen to have a game in my basement now. Talked to a guy at work one day who said that his dad had 5 pinball machines.
Wow.
Wow, 5! You know, that's big time. So he took me over there, introduced me to him, and you know, and then him and I started. You know, he was very knowledgeable. He'd worked on TVs and radios and stuff for many, many years.
Yeah.
Ross Ellis is his name, and he's since moved down to Florida. He goes by Doc Ellis down there in Pensacola, Florida.
Doctor because he's a real doctor? Or is
No,
it
just a nickname he picked up because you know, working on TVs and everybody and radios.
Oh, so the doctor of electronics.
Yeah, the doc. You know, hey doc. You know, it kind of stuck. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So he, I learned a lot from him, and you know, and gained some knowledge there, and you know, we went around, we did a lot of shows and stuff, and here and there, and auctions, and looking at games, and you know, things like this. So
is that how your 2 pinball machines exploded, or was it more of an exponential growth? I mean, did it just kind of like, did 2 turn into 3 to 5 to 10, or I mean, like how fast did it move in terms of your collection expanding?
Oh, I think that, you know, we had the Globetrotters, and then we had a couple games. I think I got up to around 3, you know, and I thought, you know, I'm big time now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that was probably only within, no, I'd say 6 months or so.
Yeah.
You know, 6, 7 months, maybe something like that. So, yeah, it wasn't a great amount of time, but of course I had probably sold just as many games by that point. You know, I'd pick up a game here and there, and yeah, tinker with it, and yeah, it's not really for me, so I'll sell it and try to make $1 off that, and you know, maybe hopefully kind of pay for the next game, type of thing. So yeah, I think you know, I can remember back when there was only 3 games in the basement.
Wow.
You know, and yeah, that was big time back then. And I had taken a wall out and had this closet down there, and kind of blew that out, made it my game room thing. And I remember, you know, put the electrical in and everything, and got all done with that. And I'm playing the game. You know, I just got all this done, and I'm looking in this other room in the basement, like, I should make that my game room. That's like 4 times bigger than this room. You know?
That's how that begats the actual arcade. That's awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, because I had the pool table in there, and you know, eventually that left, and
yeah. Pool table and air hockey, the enemy of the pinball basement, isn't it?
Oh, and the foosball.
Dartboards too.
Foosball.
Oh god.
Because you got to have at least 2 players with foosball.
Oh yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Or flipper football if you're a Capcom pinball fan.
Yep.
Anyway, well that's cool. That's cool. I'm very happy, and I just want to say thank you for kind of hosting these parties, and it's been a lot of fun. How many people do you think came tonight? You think about, like, I know you had about 130 some on the invite.
We had 138 people last year. This year was 150 people.
Holy moly.
Come through. So yeah, we've broken all records again this year. And yeah, I'm glad everybody comes out. It's a good time. You know, it's a lot of work. It takes, you know, it's months and months of planning and going into it. And
a lot of people brought great food. I mean,
yeah, a lot of people bring a lot of food.
Who brought the pulled pork? I mean,
that was Mick Gruler's. He's brought that the past several years
gosh,
now.
That's so good. And there's wings and meatballs.
Yeah,
and
I think Mick cooked up 3 of those. And I forget the guy's name that brought the chicken wings. Those are good. I had some of those too.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And,
fall off the bone. Great stuff.
Yeah, they're really good.
And you got, how many dozen pizzas did you get today, or did you get?
I think she ordered 20.
20 pizzas,
I think she ordered 20.
And as always, it goes. It goes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got to feed the people.
Yeah, and
you get angry.
And you supplied the prizes for the Zen tournament.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, a Zen tournament is where each person shares like one flipper. So it's random pairs of people who get together at random and they play a game. You designated the 10th anniversary to be Elvis. Was there a reason that Elvis was chosen this year?
Each year, Pete Mathis and I, we pick a game months ahead of time.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to make it where it's even on both sides for each player.
Yeah.
So you don't have one flipper on the left and two on the right.
Or one flipper where everything is done on that flipper.
Right.
Hypothetically,
Black Knight 2000.
Or
would be an example of that.
Or Bride of Pinball.
Yes.
You know, where everything's done from the right flipper to the left ramp. I mean, hypothetically speaking, those would be poor choices. But this choice, Elvis, was good because you had two very important flippers on the right, two very important flippers on the left. The right one would deal with the loop shot, a la Roller Games, Steve Ritchie, and the left shot deals with the hotel on the upper ramp.
Yep.
So, and in previous years, you've had Special Forces, and you've had
we've done Canada Dry.
Orbiter 1.
Orbiter 1 we did a few years back. That was great because, you know, and we try to pick games that people don't normally get to play.
Yeah.
You know,
or wouldn't have practice playing.
Right, and that's another reason. You know, well, Elvis is a little bit different because, you know, a lot of people might have Elvis, but we don't tell people what the game is ahead of time. True. You know, we keep that a secret right up until the moment we start the tournament. And Joe Case from Laserific, he supplies the trophies for the past few years and does a great job on it. You know, I can't thank him enough for everything he's done. He makes some great toppers and coasters and different things. So, yeah, nice job once again. You know.
Who is that name again?
Joe Case from Laserific.
Joe Case from Laserific.
Joe Case from Laserific.
And by the way, the full disclosure, I won the Zen tournament this year. So
yes, you did. Congratulations. That was awesome. 20,000 points.
I know that it was so close at the end.
Right on top of you guys. It's like, man, it would all come down to that bonus.
Yeah. See, everybody's groaning at the end except for one little voice, which was mine, that was going, yay!
Yeah, that was great. It's never been that tight. That was perfect.
Well, John, I want to say thank you this year. This has been great, and we're gonna get out of this 40-degree weather and take a look at some of the machines that you have here in your garage. Yeah, it feels worse.
That warm?
Yeah, no kidding. Welcome to Michigan, but this is the overflow basement. This is the overflow garage area. You got to sell this stuff so you can park your car in the garage now.
Well, I can shove it all on her side and then bring my truck in. That's not a problem.
Priorities.
Yeah, and then she has to sell it.
I see how that's. I think you're the shrewd one. I think she'd be one to give these away. So for our sake, let's hope she does.
Yeah, there you go.
Get it out of here for 500. Thank you, Shadow. All right, well, thanks a lot, John. And again, great year.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks for coming out. Congrats again on the Zen.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Awesome.